What is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. We're going to be starting off with some easier videos at the beginning, easy for you guys to kind of just understand what's happening. The game has changed a lot with SMITE 2, so there's a lot of things that I can introduce you guys to. I just want to start off very simple with what to expect when you're getting into a game, a short bit on building, a short bit on how to set up, where to start maybe, depending on like the role you're playing, and maybe a quick little blurb on just what every role does. But first off, I want to just talk about the builds. So when you get into a game, depending on the god you are playing, this game I am on her, you will get an offer of choose a way to build for this match. Manual build means everything you will be choosing. Auto build, this is a specific auto build path, which is critical strike, which means it starts you with 2 health pots, a mana pot, cowl, and then it starts building you into dev's gloves. And then auto build penetration basic attacks, which is more of like a kin size shred style build, which is really good against tanks. This one's better against squishies. This is your first thing to choose. If you don't really know what to do, I will say the auto builds are pretty decent. They are not the best things in the world, but they are definitely good enough where if you really don't understand building and you don't really want to go into that right now, for sure, just click one of these. It doesn't really matter which one you are. There are games where you can min-max, choose which one's better, but it really does not matter. I'm going to choose manual build because I want to talk about builds just a tiny bit if that interests you. The next thing will be choosing your relic. This is a one-time pick, and you cannot change again after this. Purification beads is beads from SMITE 1. You basically just become CC immune for 2 seconds, and the cooldown is 210 seconds. Blink rune, it is a short range teleport. It is in combat. The only times you cannot use this is if you are stunned, silenced, crippled, anything like that, where you're hard CC'd and your character actually cannot function or move himself. You can blink out of roots. You just cannot blink out of hard CCs. And this is a 240 second cooldown. Aegis of acceleration. This is just Aegis of acceleration from SMITE 1. Very simple. You just become immune to all damage and all healing, which is something that I don't think a lot of people do know. And you get stacks depending on the damage you take. So if you take 4 instances of damage, you actually get, 3 instances of damage, you actually get 21% movement speed for 4 seconds. But this is basically just an immunity. You can walk around while this. You can not use abilities though. You cannot do damage. You cannot heal. And it's a 140 second cooldown. Phantom shell. It's just a little shell or a little AoE around you within 5.6 meters. And it gives a shield to you and anyone in that range on your team. And also gives you the ability to walk through walls. Ymir wall, Odin wall. Do I think this one's very good? Not really. Most of the time, if you can't like get out of the Odin cage or if Ymir's a really big problem, you're probably just going to go blink because you want your support to have probably this relic or this relic. And for the last relic, it is Sundering Arc, which is really, really fun. It is a cone in front of you that does damage, 400 plus 25 per level true damage, and it deals 1,000 true damage at level 10. And then all the way up to level 20. And if you hit gods, you have true damage also that does ticks of it. But at level 1, this does 110 damage. Yes, it's over 4 seconds, and yes, they can pop a pot and heal almost all that up. But if they're like out of pots, or if you just need a little extra damage, Sundering Arc does a whole lot of damage. And you can kill with it too, which is cool. You can kill with it. For builds, you're offered 10 starters, 2 supports, 2 jungle, 2 mage intelligence-oriented ones, 2 lifesteal auto attack oriented ones, and then 2 more solo lane brawler-esque ones. Currently, I think heroism is better just because of the stats. I talk about this in that Ymir short. 10 protections of each and 60 max health for an okay passive is not that great, but 30 protections and 200 max health and also an okay passive is just a lot stronger. For jungle, I think it's really simple. This is not good. Boomba's Golden Dagger needs a massive buff to become even close to competitive with Boomba's Cudgel. Boomba's Cudgel is just Boomba's Hammer, but like a slightly nerfed version. It is very strong, and Boomba's Golden Dagger is not very good, and the upgrade is even not very good. Conduit Gem, and this is the Archmage's Gem that we know from SMITE 1. This is really good for burst. If you're playing like one-shot Neath, Archmage's Gem does give you a lot of damage. It's a fine starter option for intelligence-based gods that don't really care about having a lot of cooldowns. Sands of Time is a cooldown-oriented intelligence item. I really like this on like Anubis's and Cuckoo's. Pendulum of the Ages is the exact same. Like these starters are very basic. I just want to kind of explain kind of what they are for people that are new to SMITE. But Pendulum of the Ages is just cooldown and intelligence, and you really shouldn't run out of mana with Sands of Time. Next up, Leather Cowl and Death's Toll. I think Death's Embrace is pretty bad. When I was trying both of these, I was like, Death's Embrace is really not that bad. But then you just look over at what Hunter's Cowl is. 35 strength and 45% attack speed, when it's pretty hard to come across attack speed in most Hunter builds, especially in the crit variety. So Hunter's Cowl just seems so much stronger. I'm going Hunter's Cowl in most games. And then lastly, and honestly, the ones that I have the least experience with, the solo lane oriented items, Warrior's Axe, which upgrades into Sundering Axe, and then Bluestone, which upgrades into Bluestone Brooch. I've played a couple games with each. I will just say that Bluestone Brooch just feels like it does a lot more. The sustain you're getting from Sundering Axe doesn't really feel that impactful, and the damage doesn't really feel that impactful, but the Bluestone Brooch damage feels really good. Is it gonna like have really strong damage at like the below 50%? Not really, because most of the damage comes when they're above 50%, but it's still just a lot of good poke damage, and I think it's better in most games. All right, so again, we have the choose a way to build for this match. I'm support. I kind of know what I'm thinking about building. I'm going to be going manual build. How I think about if I want Sundering Arc or Blink Rune is, do we have secure? No. Do they have secure? Yes. So I like having that opportunity to contest to their secure. Starters, like I said, I think Selflessness is a lot stronger just at a base level. I think Thebes is just the strongest in the game. Surprisingly, Smite 2's here, still building Thebes. For duo lane, it's a little bit of a fuck fest. I'll say it. I don't like swearing in YouTube videos usually, but it is a little bit of a fest. There is a pretty base way to start. So at a base level, ADC and support start your purple buff. So start right here. The solo laner starts as blue. The mid laner starts in mid lane. And the jungler usually starts on speed, goes to the backs, to the backs, to the backs, to the backs, and then to the red, and splits red with mid. It is weird because, to be honest, people don't really know what they're doing. So like that Arakate was even standing on red thinking that's what they were going to do. But you want to usually start on a buff unless you're a mid laner, because you want to split with the jungler as a mid laner. However, I say that, but the best way to start currently, if you are up for it, is invading. And I'm going to show you. We're going to fight. Because starting Sundering Arc, you have a secure of 400 health with this Sundering Arc. So in about 2 seconds, I'll walk in. And then this will basically just be mine, and there's nothing they can do about it. And just like that, it's ours. And just keep running, and we're out. And just like that, we have pretty much one laning phase. Okay, unless I int at the last second. And just like that, we're good. If this guy goes for this purple buff, I'm going to contest him on it. That's okay. Even if we're losing this, it's not that big of a deal because we are dominating the other side of the map and they're not getting like any farm. Okay, that was risky. Walking in this way was very risky.